Hi, little ones. Today we're going to read another story from the book Curious George's 5-Minute Stories. Now remember, from the last video, I had marked a spot with my bookmark for the next story where I wanted to read. So let's go to the book I want to read, the story. The story is Curious George Goes Fishing. Let me take out my bookmark and let's read about George. This is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. One day George was playing where he saw something funny. He saw a long string on a long stick carried by a big man. What could the man be doing with the stick and a string? What do you think he's gonna do? Let's just look. Some of you might know the answer. Let's all find out. George was curious. The man was on his way to the lake, and soon George was on his way to the lake too. George watched the man put a hook on the end of the string and a piece of food on the hook. Then the man lowered the string into the water and waited. When the man pulled the string out of the water, there was a big fish on the hook. What fun it must be to fish! George wanted to fish too. He had a string. All he needed was a stick, and he knew just where to get one. George ran home as fast as he could. A mop would make a good stick. George tied his string to the mop. Now he was all set to fish. Or was he? Not yet. George had to have a hook, and on the hook, something that fish like to eat. Fish like to eat cake, and George knew where to find some. But where could he get a hook? Why, there was a hook on the wall. It would have to come out. With the hook on the string and the string on the stick and the cake in the box in his hand, George went back to the lake. He put some cake on the hook and he lowered the string into the water. Now he had to wait. Would he catch anything on the end of the string? George was curious. The fish were curious too. All kinds of fish came to look at the string. Big fish, little fish, red fish and yellow fish and blue fish. One of them was near the hook. The cake was just what it wanted. George waited. The string shook, but when George pulled the string up, there was no fish on the hook, and there was no cake on the hook either. The fish had just taken the cake and swum away. Well, if George could not get the fish would not get the cake. George would eat it. The cake was just what he wanted too. He would find another way to fish. George looked into the water. A big red fish with a long tail was so near. He could reach it. Could he reach it? Could he catch a fish without a string? George got down as low as he could and put out his hand. Splash! Into the lake he went. The water was cold and wet. George was cold and wet too. This was no fun at all. When you get cold and wet, do you like to be wet or even cold? Not me. Neither does George. When George got out of the water, his friend Bill was there with his kite. You are wet. Billy said. I saw you fall in, so I came to help you get out. Too bad you did not get a fish, but it is good the fish did not get you. Now maybe you can help me fly my kite. Anybody flew a kite before? Raise your hand if you flew a kite before. Okay. Raise your hand if you flew. Raise your hand if you went fishing before. I think lots of you have done those things. George was happy to help. It was a windy day, and soon George was dry and the kite was flying high. He watched it go up, up, and up. What fun it was to fly a kite. It would have been fun to catch a fish at the end of the string, thought George. But flying a kite on the end of the string was even better. The end. That is my next book I'm going to read. So I'm going to put my bookmark where I left off so I can save this for the next video. Okay. So if it's nice outside and you go fly a kite and have fun just like Curious George. And if you catch a big fish, what kind of fish did you check? Come back to this video and comment and let me know below. What did you do? Did you go fly a kite or did you go catch a fish? Let me know. Parents, please make sure you follow and like this YouTube channel. Ooh, excuse me. Also, please check out the links below. I do have a Facebook page that does have information about this YouTube channel and other information I'd like to put out. There you can comment. You can also comment in the links below. If you would like me to read a book, please message me through Messenger or in the comments. Let me know the title, the author, the illustrator, and the publisher of the book. I'll try to read it and give a shout out to the student that you would like me to give a shout out to once I read that book in a video. So please check out all the links below. I've got the bookmarks, all sorts of bookmarks. You can message me through there, through Facebook, and ask me what types of bookmarks you'd like me might be interested in getting, and I will get back with you. All right, little ones, have a good evening. Bye.